stream number 3 of today, of April 15th. In the last 2 streams, we've managed to accomplish a good amount of stuff. We have the NoSQL functionality of the OLAP database that I'm writing. Now we're going to try something a bit harder, and we're actually going to create our sort of SQL functionality, aka our structured functionality, where I'd like to be able to actually have schemas and delegate certain blocks of memory and not sort of read and write line by line. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So I think we're going to begin there. And I'm going to just send it to my friend. Hopefully she shows up and peeks at what we're doing here. And we are going to start, my friends. So am I in the right place? No, I think I've accidentally picked the wrong screen to share. Yeah, we're going to share that one. Perfect. Okay. Nice. And my cat wants to come hang out. So we're going to, for the app.java, we're going to actually move all of this into the NoSQL demo. So we're going to say public void NoSQL demo. We're going to pop this into here. We don't need any parameters. We're going to just grab everything that we've done, to be honest. Sorry, we're going to grab everything that we've done, and we're going to move it down here. Now, in the future, we're going to put this in the tests folder, because we're going to be professional programmers and actually write tests for what we're doing. But today, we're going to be degenerates, and we're just going to do things the way we feel like doing them. Okay, so we're going to create a new file. We're going to call this SQL.java, which is a bit of a confusing name, albeit. We're going to say public SQL. We don't need anything. And as always, we're going to say utils.pp, and we're going to say sawdog, because we want to know that everything, and I mean everything, is working. So in our app.java, we're going to say SQL. db equals new SQL. Very nice. Did we do this correctly? Sequele. Yes. We are going to import this. Nice. And we have a mess here, but we'll clean up our file structures later. So if we run this, we should see our sawdog. All right. Our friends, are moving. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a create table method. So public, we're going to start with a void, and we're going to create a create table method. We're not going to camel case this because for some reason I just think this is going to look better. We're going to see as time goes on. So for our create table, obviously we want a table name, and we're going to create a map that is going to be of string to type string called schema. Now our IDE is yelling at us, but we're going to have it be a little polite and stop yelling at us. And we're going to start stealing things, because that is how we do it. So we're going to create a test schema. We're going to call this test schema. It's going to be a new hash map. And our test schema, we're going to say we're only going to have a couple possible entries. We're going to have an ID, which is going to have, our ID is going to have, it's not going to be called value. Oh yeah, it's going to be called value. Our ID is going to be of type string. Our event is going to be of type string. And we're going to put price here is going to be of type int. Lovely. And so now what we should be able to do is we should be able to say db.createTable. Our table is going to be called test2, because we already have the other stuff. And our schema is actually going to be our test schema. Let's see. Something wrong. Or we're going to do string. Nothing's wrong anymore. Lovely. So what we want to do here actually is we are going to, in fact, when you create a schema in SQL, let's think about this. What kind of stuff might we be interested in? Well, I guess we're interested in the length, but we're going to give, at the very beginning, we're going to give all of our strings an equal length. We might be interested in integer. We might be interested if something has an index or a key, but I think that's going to be different. We're going to do maybe add index, like alter table add index. So we'll do that a bit differently. We'll keep things as is. So we're going to create a new directory, and it's going to be called schema. Lovely. So now we know that if we want to put a JSON, we just want to straight up take this schema and throw that shit into a JSON file. Let's ask our best friend here. Let's ask our best friend here. In Java, how can I take a map and store it as a JSON file? Because let's see, I have some notes which maybe might help me. No, they won't. My notes will not help me. Stop using Jackson. Use Gson. We're going to use Gson, because so far this package has kicked some butt. Step-by-step guide using Gson. Very nice. Let's go. All right, look, the map looks the same. The map looks the same. We're good. Gree, what's up? Meow. Come here. Come say hi. My cat is coming to say hi. Sweet. So we're going to yoink all of this right here, and let's try to memorize this. So it's been a little bit different each time around. Meow meow. When we tried to do this with just reading the file from here, we said Gson, and we said from JSON, and then we put it into a map, and I guess we sort of used the file reader, and we put a type. And type in here is, yeah, we essentially set what kind of token it is. So if you're looking at what we're doing here, our JSON is going to be the schema. Our Gson, we need our Gson. We need our Gson builder. We do need our file writer. And our path here is going to be schema. Then we're going to do some string concatenation. We're going to do some string concatenation, and we're going to say table name. String plus table name plus JSON. Add some spacing to keep things beautiful. Nice. Okay, so we're creating a JSON builder object. We're pretty printing and we're doing the create. I don't think I'm going to memorize that anytime soon, but I'll remember that's here, and we're going to steal from here every time in the future. We create our JSON. So essentially at this point it should be a string. We're trying our file writer, and actually we're done Gsoning at this point. At this point we're just using file writers. Lovely. IO exception, we're also going to bring our friend in. And if I'm not mistaken, which I likely am because I'm usually mistaken, we are going to run this. Sweet. Now in our schema we have a lovely, I love this. I love this. Now something we want to do in our create table is we want to find out if this file already exists. So let's try something. Using file writer, check if the file already exists. Nice. Done. My bottle's closed. Okay, you know what? do not explain, do not write boilerplate. Just show me the lines I'm asking for. And then thank you, because I don't want to die. You guys can get killed by AI. AI and I, we're gonna be chill. That thank you right there, yeah. It's gonna know. It's gonna know. File. We're gonna import the file. We're not gonna do. We're gonna try this real quick. So for our file name, we're actually gonna make this a variable file name, and we're gonna say that string file name equals this. And so the reason we want this as a string is because we're gonna be doing this twice. And how do I throw? Instead of no fitness stream, fitness is actually in an hour, and you should be sleeping. You should be sleeping. Maybe, I don't know how late it is. It's probably, no, it's like midnight, I would assume. 1 a.m. Instead of print line, how do I throw an error? The error. Let's go, baby. Alright, yeah, actually something I'm curious about is, since the file already exists, let's just run this. And it's gonna redo it. That's not what we want. New IO exception, baby. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that. Now we're gonna run this, and we should get a, oh shit, oh my god, oh no, unhandled exception. Well, I guess let's handle it then. Let's handle it. You think we can't handle it? Oh, we're gonna handle it. Nice. File already exists, and sweet. And so instead of saying file, we're gonna say table. Then we're gonna do string concatenation. We're gonna say table boom, and then we're gonna put the table name here. Already exists. Sweet. Now something we're gonna do is in SQL does drop in SQL there is drop and truncate does drop remove the table schema. Is there are used to remove data from the databases, dropped or another boom from this means that the table and all its data as along with its schemas are permanently deleted. Sweet. So we can immediately write ourselves a little method. And by the way, now we're going to keep everything as void. We're going to keep, this is your sleep schedule. I used to be a night owl, but then became a morning bird. Oh, interesting. Alright, we're going to create a drop method. We're going to create a method to drop our table, and then we're going to do a little to-do here. To-do add remove add delete data as well. Well, no, we don't need the to-do. We're just gonna fucking delete all that shit, dude. In Java, how to delete a file. Java.io, yes. So we're going to call this schema file, and then we'll call this the data file. This is the schema file. This is the data file. Files.delete paths.get. I wonder why I need to do this. Can't I just pass in schema file? Schema file sounds like somebody who's in love with files. Okay, so you do have to use path. Import path, type path, and we want to delete the path. And we're going to say schema path. And we're going to say schema path. What do you not like? Yes. Throws declaration. And we're going to do schema file. Truth be told. Yeah, no, we'll leave this. Files.delete. Can I delete multiple files via this command? I'm gonna do data file. No, we're not gonna. Probably gonna regret this and have to redo it, but we'll do it like this. And we don't need to do this. We can just say. We can just say that. And then we do the same. Files.delete file, and there's trying to do a for loop. So we just do this twice, and then we do data. Sweet. And what we're doing here is we're going to say drop table. Nice. So we're going to try to do, so we're going to try create table, and that's going to fail. Boom. And it's like, hey, bro, don't do that. Then we're going to say drop table. Very nice. And when we try to drop our table, when we try to drop our table, we're going to remove this, and we're going to say drop tabla. Lovely. So we should be able to drop this. We're going to run. Cool. Schema should be gone. Data never had a test 2 or a test 0 or whatever. So if we run this again, we're going to have 2 errors. I guess we're going to write both into try catches. So yeah, that's gone. We're going to write both. Can't I just do try? And then say catch. Let's see. Wrap this in a try catch. No, that's parasocial, my guy. That's some parasocial shit if I've ever seen it. Yeah, what the? Okay, so I didn't need the loop. I didn't need the loop. We'll try that for both of these. And here we'll put data. Failed to delete schema. Failed to delete tabla. because we really don't want fatal errors happening. Cool. We're going to run this again. We should have our failed blah blah blah, but awesome. And in fact, what we're going to do here is we're going to say system.error.println failed to delete schema 4, and then we're going to wrap this, and then we're going to go here. Boom. And we forgot a plus sign. We're going to copy this, and we say the same thing. Failed to delete table, and we don't need to say, nah, fuck the 4. There. And we run this again. This should be much nicer. Failed to delete schema test 2, failed to delete table. Lovely. Now what I want to try doing is we're going to recreate the table again. We're going to recreate our table again. We're going to say run. Lovely. We're going to try running this again, and it's going to be upset. Let's actually go add some error handling to this. Exception in thread. Throws new exception. Yeah, well, we kind of wanted this exception. I guess what we're going to do is we're going to say return false. We're going to change this to boolean. And we're going to return true. And then we're going to maybe instead of throwing exceptions and doing crazy shit, we're just going to say system.error.println. We're going to do that. Let's run that again. And that should be better. Table, we're going to... Table already exists. I really like this. This is nice. This is nice. What we're going to do is we're going to create another wrapper here called, we're going to create another wrapper here called create or replace. Is there just in SQL? Is there a command for just replace table? Or is it always paired with create and replace? There is a SQL command using drop and create together. Using create or replace. Yeah, we're just going to do this for now. I'm going to say create or replace table. Public. We are going to say boolean. And we're going to do the same thing, where we're actually going to ask, do you exist? We're actually going to create a method here called public boolean table exists. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to say return false. And here we're going to say return true, actually. True. Then here we're going to say string tabla name. Cool. Now we don't need to do this. File, if file, blah, 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 blah. We're going to say if table exists table. If table exists table name, we're going to return false. And now we're going to do the same thing where we're going to say if table exists table, then we're going to actually say drop table name, and then we're going to table, and then we're going to put table name, and we're going to permeate schema, which we sadly forgot, and then we return. And then I guess we're going to say, no, we're not going to say dick. So I almost feel like all of this needs to be split out. I feel like all of this needs to be split out into like a we don't need anything in the constructor for now. So everything here is pertaining to creating tables or writing tables. So when we run this, it's going to go, hey, sorry bro, it already exists. Boot, we can actually copy this and say create or replace table. And what we're going to do here is we have our schemas, and we're going to change ID. Whoa. We're actually going to change ID to int. Now we're going to run this. Boom. Failed to table test 2. Yeah, actually we're going to say failed to drop. Where are we at? Yeah, we're here. Failed to drop. And we're going to say failed to drop. But failed to drop, no problem. JSON, and now we have 2 ints. Amazing. Holy crap. I'm genuinely really enjoying Java. It's funny. This is unexpected. Cool. About another half hour. So I'm sort of curious about the tests. App Java test should answer with, assert true. I'm kind of lazy as shit. Yeah, we'll do that later. I don't feel like doing it yet. So now let's start thinking about blocks and serializing and doing all of this beautiful, beautiful stuff that we want to do. So now we have our test2 table. We have our schema, we have our strings, we have enough. So we're going to now where are my tests? We're going to call this SQL test.java. We're going to call this create test.java. And we're going to call this SQL create test.java. We're going to put this here, and we're going to put a bunch of tests here where at test. Does this shit? No. We're going to go like that. Package is correct. We have our app test. Our friend is going to be called this. We're going to yoink all of that from here. Nice. And so what we should say is, so import map, import hash map. So we're going to do db. We forgot about db somehow. Here. Sequele. Sweet. Okay. So create table assert true. Did we say return and then assert? I don't know. We'll leave this here because we'll figure out how to test afterwards. We're gonna steal this. We know what our record should be. And we're gonna say we're gonna have a map of an object. Can I do like string or int? Damn. So we're gonna say object. How to create a slave. How to create a map in Java that has both strings and ints. It's just gonna tell me use objects. Or like I can extend a certain type. I can put a wildcard, but the wildcard can extend, but you can only have one extension in Java. Example code, hash map. Yeah, fuck that. Good enough. So we know that ID, did we change? No, ID needs to be an int. So we're going to say ID 0. Then we're going to say event is going to be view, and price is going to be 10. And this is our record. This is our record. Very cool. And we're going to try inserting the record into our table, which is test2. Now we do need to go ahead and create an insert method. We do need to create an insert method. So no more tests, don't need this. Cool. So we are going to say public void insert. We're going to say string table name. And then we're going to say map of string object. And then we're going to say record. Cool. We're going to say cool. We're going to say cool. Now, we want to grab our schema. So essentially, we want to get our schema. So here's our writer. And we did stuff here that we want to steal. Yeah. Something like this. Right? Because I think we've only ever into file writer, but we want to. So we're gonna create. No, I'm gonna start rating your advances, and that one was a thumbs down. I really thought I screwed myself by saying we're gonna create an insert method. I thought for sure you're gonna go for something wildly inappropriate, but drop the ball there. Drop the ball. By the way, I make YouTube videos out of all of these streams, so hopefully you don't reuse. Hopefully you don't reuse your username all over the place, because these are going up as YouTube videos. Not that anybody watches the YouTube videos, but they do exist. They're going to exist until YouTube servers fade into oblivion. So we're going to say get schema. Get schema. Obviously we need a string tabla name. And what we want to do here is we want to do something along this line. I don't think we fucking need to do that. I think we could just say, I think we can read our file. And then we could just say map. Because we've done this already, right? Where we sort of use the file reader and put something into a map. I assume it's going to be here. This is like buffer reader, writer. It's funny, we did all that work and this is all I have to show for it. Because there's something where I want like of type map. Are you concerned or is that a threat? I'm pretty sure concerned. I don't think I'm making threats. Don't think I'm making any threats. We're going to say we want a map of a string to an object. Shit doesn't need to be that complicated. Can we just copy this? Can we just say please? That work? And then do just that. Expression. Fix this syntax. Nice. You're not a John or a Sen. Assuming you're still a dude, though. I assumed you were John Sen, but even if you're not a John or a Sen, I believe you map.class. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. Map.class. Cool. I think we need to close. Cool. We need to add a catch into our try catch. I'm assuming it's utils.pp shit. And we're gonna utils and our file path is gonna be the same thing we did here. It's gonna be the same thing we did here. Okay, get schema. And when we try to run this, we're going to say get schema tabla name. And of course, we need to wrap it with throws, exceptions, declarations, file not founds, etc. We're going to run. Nice. And so we have our schema. And what if I said dot get, and then here I said price, and double quotes. And we run this again, and we have int. Lovely. So we're going to say schema, and then we're going to return schema. And instead of a void, we do this. Schema cannot be resolved to a variable. I fucking disagree with that, my guy. Return schema. What are you unhappy with? we're going to say uh, map schema equals new hash map. And then we're going to reassign we don't need to say what it is. I don't get it. Fix this. I think also just Twitch demographics are like wildly skewed towards men. Twitch male female viewership ratio. Okay, I expected it to be way higher. Sorry, lower. I expected it to be very different. So look, it's saying boom, Gasson. What are you upset about? Let's try just let's try taking the whole thing. So what changed? I don't get it. We're gonna put this here. It's gonna freak out, but what's different between my two methods? So schema, string name, we're gonna call this old. Sorry, this should be old. So schema equals a new hash map. That's what I did. Then we did our whole file Gasson. Then we did file reader reader equals new file reader name. And then from JSON reader class of T map.class. I really don't fucking get it. It's exactly what I did. How are these different in any way? String object new hash map. String object new hash map. Try file reader blah blah blah. JSON from JSON reader class of T map.class. That's crazy to me. So what if I no issues? Okay. Gonna ignore it. So actually, in fact, that should probably be who's my favorite person or inspiration. So the person who really got me into programming is somebody I really admire. His name is Daniel Schiffman, and he runs a channel called Coding Train. And essentially, he's this like super kind guy who's just always very excited to teach, and he's got all this cool stuff. And people describe him as the Bob Ross of programming because he clearly does it because he wants people to learn and get better. So I think he's one of my favorite people. I really like him. And then out of somebody who's like a celeb, I don't know who's a celeb who I like. What about yourself? Who do you like? So here we're going to say that it's a map of a string to an object. We're going to say schema equals, and then we're going to say utils.pp schema. We're going to run this. Nice, and so we have our schema here. Awesome. Awesome possum. So we're going to loop over both our record and our schema. We're going to ask Mr. GPT for this. Where's app? Oh, it's up here. I have a record that looks like this, and I have a schema that looks like this. I love how I'm like comfortable enough with Java now that I'm just cheating. We have test schema, very cool. Create a method that inputs these two maps and ensures that the types of values within my record matches. Is it int? Did I say integer? It's maybe matches the type of the schema. So price should be an int, and if my record has price equals 10, that should be good. If my record has price equals hello, that should fail. That should fail. Also, my record has to have all of the columns in the schema and cannot have any extra that are not in the schema. This is majorly cheating. It's gonna do the whole method for me, essentially. So we've gotten our schema, we have our record, and we're going to say private void compare record to schema. Yeah, validate record is way better. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I have a bunch of Nietzsche on my, one sec, let me show you. One sec. What do I have from Nietzsche? I have one Nietzsche. My favorite is Human All Too Human. I've got more Nietzsche in my other bookshelf. But yeah, I've got some Nietzsche here. My favorite is Human All Too Human. I don't know if you're a big fan. What's your favorite Nietzsche work? I'm a huge fan of Nietzsche. Yeah, for Nietzsche is my favorite, for sure. It's very difficult because you can totally misinterpret him. Because I don't know if you know, but like Hitler was very interested in Nietzsche, and but I think a lot of people essentially sort of misread what he's trying to say. I think if you read it correctly, it makes you a better person, and it makes you more forgiving and accepting of others. But I can totally see how some people would read it and then just, you know, have some very strange ideas. I like Kierkegaard a lot, of course, because he was one of the big inspirations for our friend. I like Schopenhauer was cool. I guess you didn't read it correctly. It changes with time. I think it's very easy to originally get super nihilistic at everything. I think there's many ways to happiness, but maximizing your nihilism is actually ironically a way to happiness, sort of, because you realize if everything is sort of fake and nothing truly exists, it's the fact that we all sort of do work together and try to support each other that makes the world a beautiful place, even when it's technically ugly. So it's pretty cool. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. All right, we're gonna say is valid. So we go to validate record. What do you not like? Why is it static? And our friend is gonna be private. Also, why is this guy static? Cool. Let us see what's going on here. Validate record. We've got map of a string to a string, and it's true. Technically, our schema can be string string. Come on, buddy. String string. String string is valid, and we're gonna say is valid, and we're gonna say plus is valid. Let's run this. Let's see what it's done. Is valid true. Yo, shit. We're gonna say, gonna make it a straight. Valid false. Comment this. Is valid false. Once again, make this a string. Let's see what happens. Java expected int. Put this back and valid. Sick. Well, let's go read what it wrote because we don't want to be left in the dark. So if record.keys.schema.keys, oh, interesting. So first things first is it maps the keys. Let's try writing this line ourselves just to make sure that it goes into record.keyset. Nice. And by the way, keyset I guess could be something that we could use. We're going to say dot equals, and we're going to say schema.keyset. And we're going to print this, but we're going to change our message a little bit. Error schema record, sorry, we're going to say record does not match schema. Would you say that you're happy or depressed or kind of chill? Would you say you're like, so for map, so we map over our schema, we get the key of the schema, we get the expected type and the value of the record of that key, and then we check if the type is valid. Nice. And then the way we check our types here is if it's instance of integer, then we return instance of string, unsupported type. Beautiful. Thank you, GPT. This was extremely well written. I'm very happy I cheated. Iterate through the keys on the schema. Sorry, I don't know, my nose is itchy. We're going to say if false, we're going to return false. And here we're actually going to change this to booleana. We're going to return to true. Sweet. And yeah, maybe we'll keep the schema around. Cool. We're making really good progress today as well. We're making strangely good progress. Suspiciously good progress. Now, what we want to do, I'm going to be stealing this from something I wrote earlier, where first things first is we want to serialize. We want to get so serial. Find suitable block, we don't care about that. Insert, and then when we write record, serialize record. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna allocate, we're gonna come back here, and I think what we should be doing, you're too programmed to be one, like me alone on your own, or like one like Neo from the Matrix. I think even the Matrix points out that actually Matrix is in a way related to Nietzsche. I think even the Matrix points out that even the one is just a remainder of the whole. So even the one is part of the whole system. We're all part of the same thing. Came here for shitty Java code. Got some Nietzsche and life philosophies, eh? Schema, get schema, table, schema, blah, blah, blah. Everything's morphing into one thing for me. Right, let's think. So I think what I want to do is we know that our schema, something I don't like is that it breaks my record like this. So you know what I want to do quickly? Why does it do that? Does it go price event ID? And then if we did that, it'd be the opposite. No. So it's actually, we're going to kill this real quick. We're going to say db, where's our tests? We're going to steal all of this again. I want to fix something quickly. We're going to drop or create. We're not going to search it. You know, keep looking, because we're all weirdos, and there's somebody out there for all of us. I have a map like this, but when I try to insert it into a file like this, it comes out in a different order. Please ensure that the order, how to make the order not change. I don't know. There's better ways to phrase that, but this is programming time, not English time. Order keys, blah, 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 is to the JSON in Java does not mean the order does not guarantee the blah, blah, blah linked hash map. Interesting. We're going to say linked hash map. Let's try. Now, ID event price. ID event price. Boom, baby. Alright, cool. So now we know that it's a linked hash map. Before that, we had no fucking idea. And now we know. And now we know. Okay, cool. So we have our record. We're gonna try this again. So this should be all like, yep, all good, chilling, yep, nice. So if we think about it, we're gonna create some logic that says that we're gonna allocate a certain number of bytes for each. So we're gonna do the defaults. This is the schema for a fake data, for a custom built database I am building. I want to serialize by allocating an exact number of bytes per each column. What is the default number of bytes I should use for string inputs and for int inputs? I will ask in the next prompt. Extremely vivid imagination. Nice. Are you a lucid dreamer by any chance? One byte, 2 bytes, 3 bytes. Now I'm getting hungry. I want to do some bytes. Okay. Do the demo for this. Check whether something is a string or int and allocate then append that to file. Oh, that's cool. I know what you mean though. I did lucid dreaming for many, many years, and most people have no idea what I'm talking about, so. Oh, nice. Yeah, that must be pretty hard to be you then, because that shit is difficult to live with. It's like those people have perfect recall, or eidetic memory, I guess it's called, are like super depressed. Because we all get to forget the dumb shit we do, and then those people can't. Which probably sucks, but I wouldn't know. I happen to be average in terms of my intelligence. I say while I'm just fucking copy pasting shit out of ChatGPT. It's the most, that's the biggest proof that I have no idea what I'm just doing. I'm just like, yeah, for trial, yeah, import, yeah, oh, so good. Okay, serialize record. I'm very interested in this. We're gonna say a byte array called record serialized equals serialized record, and we pass in our record. And we say utils dot record serialized. So let's start with that. Somehow this feels horribly wrong. Do not explain anything, just show me the method to deserialize based on what we just did. Okay, let's see the serialization method. It's like, alright, key, we're giving it that much, and then integer, we're giving it. But int, and then I guess the only one we have to do specific stuff is that. We're going to deserialize record, because I have hashtag doubts on all of this. Now we're going to say map of string to object, I assume, called undo. Oh, damn. Yeah, shitty. I'll be honest, can't relate. Undo equals deserialize record. I can sympathize, and as we established as an INFP, yeah, I can definitely empathize with that. Boot, that sounds like a tough time, but it gets better. I was super depressed. I was an alcoholic for like a decade, and I was a very sad person for a very long time, and then shockingly it all got better. So believe it or not, it gets better. No, I do care. But as a reminder, I have to bounce in like 4 minutes because I've got fitness. Do more fitness. I don't know if you do any fitness, but that working out is really good. It gets endorphins going. It helps with depression a fair bit. Okay, cool. So we've achieved serialization, which I'm very happy about. And in here, we're going to have this, and we're going to be file channel. Yeah, we created channel. Nice. So I think we're going to leave all this appending stuff till next time. I think we've done enough. Here, what we need to do is we need to put this into a loop to actually do this based on the schema. And let's see what the deserialization works like. Buffer.getInt, which I really dislike. Does this like move? Does this move? I'm curious how this works. Record.get. So new position, we're putting it to 260. And so here we're saying I'm going to get an int, and I assume my assumption regarding how this works is that each time you get from the buffer, it advances an internal pointer to the next location. Is that correct? Yes, it's correct. Get the buffer's internal position is advanced. Oh, nah. No, it's not cringe. Make sure that you do everything rationally. So again, chill out. As I mentioned, you're what, 25? So the prefrontal cortex really does develop, and then it really does get easier to manage emotions. And then yeah, don't do anything rash. Make sure to enjoy life, and trust me, it gets better. So yeah. Oh yeah, okay, cool. No, and also just chat with people. You're chilling. You're chilling. Cool though. I am wrapping up my stream, not because of this. As I mentioned, I have fitness. Uh, Try to get sleep. Thank you for being here. I've achieved some good stuff. As a reminder, this does show up in a YouTube video. If you want, let me know. I won't put it up. Boot, or I'll just censor the chat, I guess. But cool. Good stuff with the Java class. We're going to pop into here quickly and see what we have in here. We're going to say get status. Did we add anything we like or don't like? In our get ignore, we're going to add schema because I don't think we want to push that. Let's see our get status again. Lovely. We're going to get add. We're going to say get commit minus m, adding structured functionality. We're going to get push. And we are looking good. Have a good one. Feel better. Peace.